Hi guys, I'm a little bit early and I just wanted to start a little bit early so I don't run too late as I have a huge week ahead of me and I promised this video. So here I am to talk about me and to talk about who I am and how I got to where I got and what I'm doing now and where I am at what stage in my life. And I promised I would share it with you guys. And first and foremost, you guys should know is that I absolutely hate being on video. This alone is just like a huge deal for me, and this is me totally out of my comfort zone, and I'm cool with you guys to let you know that I hate being on camera. I hate seeing myself on camera, but that's just part of my shtick, and I'm going to share with you guys my story and who I am. So first of all, I'm Leslie, for those of you who don't know, and I'm 33, and I grew up in Toronto my whole life, and I moved to Montreal about 5 years ago, and basically this isn't a scripted talk. I don't have any notes. I mean, it's my best subject, so I'll talk about it. I grew up in Toronto. I have 3 older brothers. I come from a good home, good parents, good family, and as a kid growing up, I was a fat kid, and I had all the stereotypes of that around me my whole life. I was always confident, or at least externally, I was confident in myself, and I was always a leader, and I was always the head of the pack, and I had a good group of friends growing up. I maintained the same group of friends for a really long time in my life, and I didn't really miss out on anything as in my childhood, but I never really felt comfortable in my childhood, and I never really felt comfortable being me. And it was mainly my weight, and my weight defined me forever, and my weight continues to define me as a person. And I was never really a sick kid. I lost my appendix when I was 12 or 13, and I had PCOS, and I spoke about that in my last video. And I struggled with weight, and I don't remember being super happy when I was a kid, and things bothered me, and they were internal things that I wasn't sure of. But I was also always very, very intuitive as a child, and certain things just didn't make sense to me. But as I grew up, and I always felt like I was this old soul in my body, and was just always really smart, but not really that good at applying myself. I hated school. It didn't challenge me. When I wanted to be good in school, I was really good in school. And I kind of just continued to develop. And people, if you'd ask people about me when I was a kid, they would say Leslie was confident and she was a leader. And, you wouldn't think anything, internally was going on. And I went through public school, and public school was fun. Like, I had a good time. I had good teachers, and it was easy. And then I got to high school, and it was probably the worst years of my life and the most depressing years of my life, and a really just terrible time when teenagers are, I think everyone struggles as a teenager. I think it's an awkward time. I think, especially when you don't really know yourself, and you have this this outer confidence, but inside you're just like a complete mess. And high school was terrible for me. I totally got bullied. I still maintained my friends, but what they were dealing with and what I was dealing with, they were totally different. Like, I didn't want to, I always felt uncomfortable in my own skin. I always felt like, they were going to, parties or whatnot, or, they always looked better and they always dressed better than me. And I don't know that my friends judged me. I felt that I had really good support as the girls that I grew up with, and, we were always really, really close. But I didn't feel like myself, and, I was just different. I was different as a kid, and I was different as a teenager, and I kind of was like the most extroverted, introverted person that I ever could try and understand. I could stand in front of 1,000 of you or 1,000,000 of you on a stage and be confident and smile and be happy, but put a camera in front of me and I want to crawl into a hole and die. So basically, I started seeing a nutritionist probably when I was in grade 8 to, lose my weight. And I'll never forget, one nutritionist said to me, what, Leslie, your friends are going to catch up with you. They're going to gain weight. They're going to get fat. And I was just like, okay, but that doesn't make me feel any better. And I didn't have structure with food. And food for me, like most people, has always been a really emotional thing. And I would eat to find comfort. I would eat when I was sad. I wasn't that type who was unhappy and wouldn't eat, okay? There was a time, I remember going into university, where I tried that whole let's stop eating, let's starve yourself, let's be cool kind of thing. That never worked for me. And I just remember really just being unhappy from being a teenager all the way through to university. And even in university, I just never felt like I really found my place. I never found who I was. And then I think it was, I must have been, I don't know, maybe grade 10, I started losing a little bit of weight. Maybe I lost 30 pounds or 40 pounds, and I felt a little bit better. But you know what it's like to go when everyone's wearing, and I remember specifically Parasuco jeans, okay? Not being able to find a pair of Parasuco jeans that fit me because I was fat. And then finally, I remember being able to buy that first pair of Parasuco jeans, and I wore those Parasuco jeans like every single day. I felt good that I could get into them. So I lost a little bit of weight in high school, and then I lost more weight, and I think I took off maybe like close to like 60 pounds in high school, but I was still not satisfied. I was still a chubby fat kid, and I still wasn't happy. And I went on to university, and again, university, I didn't go to the university that all my friends went to. I took off and I went to like a university in Halifax, Dalhousie University. And there too, I couldn't find my place. I couldn't find that confident me. I always felt judged, and I would feel like I would walk around and I'd kind of like, almost as if people were talking about me, but they weren't talking about me. It was completely in my head, and that sheltered me, and that isolated me, and that put me into just another bad time in my life. And I went through university, and I came home from university. I started another program, and at this point I had lost my weight. I was comfortable. I was working out at the gym. The gym became something that I loved. It was a good output for me. And I started feeling a little bit more comfortable. I always had boyfriends. I was never, whether I was fat or I was thin or I was whatever, I never had trouble with men. I was always able to land men. But what I found is that I was attracting the wrong men. I was attracting men who were broken. They were reflections of who I was. And those men couldn't bring me the happiness that, that I associated with relationships and whatnot. But needless to say, I always had somebody in my life, and what happened was that these men were men who were broken, and what was I doing? I was trying to fix them instead of working on myself. I was working on all of these men and trying to fix them and trying to, I don't know what I was doing. And finally, I came home from university, and I went and did a public relations program at Humber College, and I got through that. And then I was just in a place in my life where, again, I'd put my weight on after a relationship, and I was just so not fulfilled, and I was not, again, I still hadn't found myself, and I still hadn't figured this out, this life. I'm just like, what am I supposed to do? Am I lovable? Am I ever going to get married? Am I ever going to have kids? And these were the things that I started focusing on, yet I hadn't established myself as someone in a career, or I had nothing going for me. It was like, what are you doing, Leslie? Like, what are you doing? And I remember being, I think I was, all right now, so I was like 26. And I was like, what am I going to do? And at this point, I was like really into health. I lost my weight. I was feeling really good. I was really into the whole fitness thing. I had my period. PCOS was history. At one point when I was at my heaviest, and the doctor's like, you're like pre-diabetic. I had already seen that, the visions in my head of walking myself into disease and sickness way before. It was like, I went to the doctor ready for him to tell me that, or her to tell me that. And they told me that, and I was just like, okay, now's when this starts. And I kind of did my whole, transition of, okay, let's get healthy. And I remember it was, I think it was 25 or 26, and I was at a friend's engagement party, and I bumped into someone there, and they were talking about this program that they were doing, and I was just like, wow, that sounds interesting. And this was the Institute of holistic nutrition. And at this point I had already, when I was younger, I stopped eating meat when I was 12. And I'm sorry guys, I'm going all over the place, but this is my story and it's just coming to me in different pieces. I stopped eating meat when I was 12. I was just disgusted by it. And I remember being with my mom at a Kelsey's and I had those, those buffalo chicken wings. They were neither a wing or a chicken finger. They were like some crossbreed. And I was just like, I'm not going to eat meat anymore. And this was long before vegetarianism was cool or a phase or a fad, And I stopped eating chicken, and I was never into fish, and I stopped eating meat. And it was just something that I did, not knowing anything about being a vegetarian. I was like a carbohydrate, like garbage disposal, pasta, rice and ketchup, like just really nasty habits. And anyway, so floating back to going back to school. So someone told me about this program, and I was just like, wow, that sounds really interesting. And I remember coming home and saying to my parents, I'm going back to school. And my mom was like, no, you're not. Go get a job. And I was like, no. Like, I'm going back to school. And my mom's like, no, like, go get a job and work, And I was just like, yeah, not yet. So I went for this interview at the Institute of Holistic Nutrition, where they literally just scared the crap out of me. And they're like, this is a science-based program. There's some math. And I'm thinking, oh my God, you're speaking Chinese right now. I don't do math. I don't do science. And what am I going to do? But I really want to do this holistic nutrition. And I thought, they'll teach you a little bit about food, and they'll teach you a little bit. I didn't even know what I was getting into. And I had to write, it was a private institution. They were going to take you, if you gave them your money. But you had to write yourself into the program, and you had to pay to play. So I convinced my parents, and I remember my mom saying, she's like, Leslie, you never finish anything. We'll help you and we'll pay for this, but we're only paying for like the first few courses. So I said, fine. Well, I'll do that. And I got into this program, and for the first time I walked into that classroom and I felt confident. And I sat down with a bunch of people from all different walks of life, all different people. And of course I took the back row, and I sat down with my girlfriend Lena, who to this day is just an angel in my life. And I sat down with the only guy in the class, Donnie, if he's watching, and we started to form our little group. And I'll never forget that first day. It was in January, I believe the 10th of January when it started. And I remember just having that first day and being like, yes, this is what I'm supposed to learn. And I remember saying on that first day, I will graduate with high marks, and I will graduate as the valedictorian of this program. And I excelled in that program. I slayed that program. Everything just made sense. It was as if this was finally where I'm supposed to be. This is my purpose and my passion, and it's just coming together. And I transformed so much in that program, personally, emotionally, physically. I mean, that was probably when I was getting into like the best part of my health journey. And this program was written for me. And it was just the beginning. It was just like the foundation of stuff. And that program was a hard program. For anyone that goes through that program, they know that program is not easy. It is intense. I did it in 11 months, and I loved that class. I loved every single part of that program except the herb class, which was like my worst class, which ironically now is funny because I work very closely with essential oils. And I remember there was a class where we had to get up and speak every single class. And I was just like, no problem. Like, I'll do it. I was the first one up to talk. I didn't care. I didn't feel judged in that program. I felt everybody was there to serve a purpose. We were all learning. We were all ready. We were all being molded to come out and be served and to serve other people. And I got into that class, and I felt so good, and I told my story. And the funny thing was, I was still nervous. Like, I still could hear my voice shake, but everyone was just like, wow, Leslie, like, how do you do that? Why are you so good at that? Like, how does that come to you so easily? And it wasn't, but it was a platform for me to kind of release a lot of crap that I had been holding on to for so long. And, I went through that program, and by the end of that program, I was in like great shape, and like I was really, really thriving, and I was so excited. And you better believe I graduated with the highest marks that school's given out, and as the valedictorian. And I remember giving that speech and just feeling so good and so proud of myself that I finished this program. I worked my butt off, and I remember sending my mom pictures when I'd get like I got 100% in some of those courses. Like, I got perfect. It was just exactly where I needed to be. Now, once you graduate, you know, I came out of that program and I was a different person. I had transformed. I had journeyed in this shitty thing we call life, and I had really found purpose. And for the first time in my life, I was like, I feel like I know what I'm meant to do, and I feel like I know what I'm going to do. And it's all started to evolve. I moved to Montreal. I found a man, and I ran away to Montreal, and I actually lost all my closest friends that I've ever had. These were my girls from the beginning, and I'll never forget, they might have a different story to what I have to say, but I never felt Leslie around them. I never felt super confident. I always felt I had to be somebody else. And these are friendships that were, 15, 16, 20, almost 30 years, where these were my core group of girlfriends. And I felt ridiculed, and I felt like they didn't understand the journey that I was about to take and walk. They didn't get Leslie was, this was who I was meant to be. And it was my detachment from my core group of girlfriends. And I was leaving to go to Montreal for a man who gave me an opportunity to move. And I said, okay, I'm going to come to Montreal. I'm going to open my practice here and, c'est la vie. So I came to Montreal and still in good shape. And what happened? I found another man who was completely broken, another man that I tried to fix, and I completely lost me and my passion and my love for holistic nutrition. And I had started working in a clinic, but I had no clue what I was doing. I do remember building a protocol and the naturopathic doctor calling me in, and she's like, wow, you have balls to do what you put down in that protocol. And I was just like, you know what, you're right, I get this makes sense to me, I get how the body works, and you know what, I'm going to make myself something out of this one day. And I got lost in this man, and I lost myself, and that was at the end of 2014, I believe. And I was just like, okay, back to square one. I feel like shit. My life's over all of a sudden because a man's leaving my life again, and now it's really make it or break it. It's either swim or sink. And I had to figure this out. And, I bounced around in between these jobs, and nothing really came of it. I was seeing clients and I was, consulting, but I was completely lost. Then in April of 2014, I went on my juice fast, and I was like, okay, I've never done this, but I'm going to start juicing. And it started out as a 30-day juice cleanse, and it ended up being an entire year. That year, my friends, was the best year, superficial best year of my life. I was thriving. I was losing my weight. I had never been so skinny in my life, and I was like, wow, skinny's amazing, and you can walk into any store and you can wear any clothes, and it was this really, and I was spending money that I didn't have, and I was really just digging myself another hole to become superficially happy with being skinny and losing this weight, and everybody telling you, oh, you look so good, and and I went through this. And then I remember December of 2014, so I had April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. I had already been juicing for several months. And I remember crying, and I remember just thinking, wow, 2015 is really going to be a shitty year. And whether it was my mind and it was the thought of 2015 being a really shitty year, but it was a really shitty year. And I bounced into a bad relationship yet again with the wrong person. And everything just started going bad. I still wasn't feeling thriving, and I wasn't doing really, really well. And boom, 2015 in October, I had an injury in the gym, and I didn't even think about it, but I had a really hard fall. And just to back up, I had 2 previous herniated disc surgeries prior to that, and they were all like emergencies. They weren't like I could wait it out or go to an osteopath or take into account a lot of the stuff that I know right now, and they were emergency surgeries. So anyways, I had this fall, and I ended up in the doctors again telling me, you're fine. And I'm like, I'm not fine, but fine, I'll be fine for you. And then in April, almost 2 years now, I was back in the hospital and I was going in for my third surgery. Keep in mind, I was still juicing. I was it was, I think April 11th or 5th or 3rd, something like that. That was when it was the first night of Passover for my family. And there I was getting ready to go in under the knife again for the third time. And I was juicing. I was in really good health. Like, everything else was really good. And I was actually positive that, coming out of this, I'm going to actually heal really, really well because, my cells are in a good place. And besides having structural damage, I was good. I was really healthy. So I came out of that surgery, and I remember waking up and being so sick from the anesthetic and like throwing up all over everybody's floor. And I just remember not feeling like something wasn't right. Something wasn't right. And I remember my mom being there, and, I'm a fighter. I'll get out of bed. I got out of bed I woke up in the ICU, and I got out of bed and told them, take this catheter out of me. I want to go to the bathroom. I want to get up. I want to walk, or when can I go to the gym? I would ask the doctor like an idiot. And I remember coming out of the ICU, and then I remember being in, coming home and just being thankful that I had a good bed to sleep in. And I just remember that I wasn't healing. Something wasn't right. I was really emotional. Granted, you're on a lot of drugs when you're in the hospital, and something wasn't right. Something wasn't right. And I said to my mom, I'm just not healing. There was so much pain. I refused to take painkillers, obviously. And not less than a month later, I'm back in the ER, and I have an infection, or so they thought, an infection over the incision area of where my surgery was. And I was devastated. And here I am, they start pumping you full of antibiotics right away. Now, after everything came back, it was a superficial infection. It didn't get into the bone, thank God. Didn't need antibiotics for 8 weeks, which I could only imagine what it would have done with me. After that, I ended up in the hospital a few more times, and then by July, things started to change. But by July, I was a mess. I was so depressed. And as that year went on, going towards 2000, from about July till December, was a really bad time. I completely lost myself. I stopped my juicing. I started using food as comfort again, and I worked so hard to lose my weight, and I started putting on the weight, and I started eating, and I started gaining weight again. And it's like, excuse my French, this yo-yo thing of me going on and on and on about going up and down with my weight, and you're a holistic nutritionist, and what are you doing? And that depression almost killed me. I almost took my life. I was so down and out. I have never felt like that, and there is nothing I can attribute to that other than all of those drugs that I was pumped full of over that span from April to July. And if it wasn't for someone reaching out to me and saying to me, Leslie, you have to try this. You need to try essential oils. And I was like, I don't know anything about oils. I hated my herb class. Now you want me to start going on oils. And I said, fine, I'll try it. And lo and behold, that was the transformation that I needed. And I started picking up the pieces again, and started putting myself back together again, and saying 2016 is going to be a good year. And 2016, just like that, everything started to change. I found my drive. I found my passion. It was like a match lit under my ass, and I exploded. And I got back to being in touch with people and building these protocols for people and seeing the joy and changing other people's lives and seeing what I was so capable of doing for so long but had so much fear to do that I kept holding myself back. And I transformed 300 lives in 2016. That's a huge number. And in so doing that, I regained my strength. And what you guys don't understand, because these Facebook Lives are new to me, because the thought of them was like treacherous and like the worst thing in the world, that, everyone tells me, Leslie, you inspire me, and you changed my life, and you saved this, and you saved my life, and you did this, and you did that. And I'm thinking, well, if I can do this for all these people, I can do this for myself. And I'm not at a place, in my mind, I am so good, guys. I'm happy. I'm I'm thriving. I love what I do. I love that you guys show up to listen to me, that you guys trust me. I'm smart. I know this work inside and out, and no health challenge is too big. And I believe my passion and my purpose is so aligned and so on fire that there's no way that this flame is ever going to die. And I'm going to continue to serve you guys. And what you guys don't realize is that you're serving me back so much bigger than you can even imagine. Though what you guys give to me, coming to me and trusting me, you're helping me get myself to that next level of Leslie, that next level of I want to go and I want to tour the world and stand on stages and inspire and motivate women and men and whoever who wants to listen. And I want them to know that no matter what, you never give up. You never, no matter how many times I got knocked down, I always got back up on my feet. And I've heard so many times, oh, Leslie, you're so strong. You're so strong. You're so strong. We are all that strong. And all of us have that ability to take care of ourselves at whatever capacity you want to. And it is, no matter how down you are, there's someone that wants to listen. There's someone that's going to help you. I gave so much free advice over the last 7 years. I reached out to so many people, and you guys have given me that confidence and that extra nudge that I needed to serve me to, not be a person, they say those who can't teach. I don't want to be those who can't teach. I'm teaching, I'm preaching. You guys, I'm doing those coffee enemas. I'm detoxing. I'm eating clean again. I'm fueling myself, and that's what you guys have to understand is when you put good into you, oh my God, what comes out of that is you have no idea. And when I juiced and when my body was so nourished and not deficient in anything, oh my God, the world was my oyster. You can do whatever you want. So the struggle is real when you're not healthy, mentally, physically. That is so real. But what you guys can do and what you can hire people like myself to guide you and help you heal, as long as you're committed to putting in that work. I never had someone like myself come to me and say, hey, I'm here. I can build you this awesome protocol and I can help you. I never had that. I had myself to trust and my intuition to go on to get me into this really awesome place in my head. And now that I'm here in my head, oh, watch out. Like, things are just starting to happen, guys. I have so many exciting things happening for all of you that I get to share with you and introduce to you. And I have so many awesome programs coming up. And you know what? I'm going to do those programs with you guys. I'm on this journey with everybody who tunes in and everybody that asks questions. No, I don't have cancer. No, I don't have digestive issues. No, I don't have a thyroid issue. No, I don't have adrenal burnout. I don't need to have those things to be able to guide you guys. Thankfully, okay, I had enough of my own garbage in my life that I had to deal with. This is this knowledge that I believe lives ago, I must have been a Chinese medical doctor. I must have been something to obtain the knowledge that I have and have the knowledge to share with everyone and to just get it it has to have been inbred with me from the very beginning. So one other thing, guys, I never got into addiction with drinking. I've never been a drinker, but I struggled with pot. I struggled with marijuana big time. I loved my pot, and I don't even know who knows this about me or who doesn't know this about me, but pot for me was a Band-Aid. Pot helped bury those things even deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And I'm not saying, I'm against marijuana. From time to time, if I want to have a puff, I'll have a puff. But it's not a habit of mine. It's not something I'm dependent on. But it was something that I was very dependent on once upon a time. And it just clouds your head, and it makes you not all there. It takes away from you. It makes you angry. I remember being so angry when I used to smoke pot and just mad at everybody. And everybody would bother me and be really agitated and really annoyed at everything. But that's another hurdle I got over. And now, again, guys, I'm losing my weight again. I'm still not, I know so much to help myself, but I'm still working on me, I know that these next 6 months are going to be huge. And I want you guys to join me, and I want you guys to do this with me, because it all starts with the power of the mind. And it is the most powerful tool that any of us have. And I believe if you can strengthen that mind and you use that tool, you can accomplish whatever you want. And if you set goals, and I hear all this fairy dust flower shit, okay, that's real, guys. If you have a vision, you work to get it. If you're a mom and you have 6 kids, if you're a mom and you have 1 kid, if you're a single mom or a single dad, or you're fat, or you're not well, that's not where your journey ends, guys. That's just where it starts. And I ask of you guys to message me and tell me what you want me to help you with, because I will help you, and I will work with you guys to, move you forward and show you and break down these barriers. You know what my goal is, guys? I want to be the female Tony Robbins. I want to stand on a stage around the world speaking to people and kicking people in the ass and putting that inspiration and motivation into, yes, I can, yes, I will, yes, I am. Not I can't, I hope, I wish. No, none of that. We all can be who we want, guys. And thank you for giving me this platform. And thank you, Facebook and social media, for, you know how many people that come in and watch me. I've never met you. I don't know you. I don't know your story. But I wanted to share my story because I think it's important for you guys to realize I'm just another human being. I'm just another person whose passion and purpose has aligned. And it is that's going to propel me to do the greatest things, and the things that I'm already doing, and the amount of people that I'm working with now, the fact that I'm so busy in my practice and getting so many wonderful feedbacks and testimonials from all of these people that I've worked with. That is what fuels my soul. It's not about money. It's not about ego. It's all about being, and I hate to say be genuine. I am genuine, and I assume most people like that. And I know you guys, I have this tough approach and this no sugarcoating, and that's my brand, No Sugarcoating Consulting. I won't sugarcoat things. I won't tell you what you want to hear for the sake. I will tell you the truth. I will be blunt. I will be raw. I will be honest. Because that is what so many people lack. So many people want to be held by the hand and told, time heals, or, it's going to get better. Yeah, sure, it'll get better, but you can't stand still and things get better. So my message to you guys is write down your goals, figure out what you want to get, whether it's a relationship you have to let go of, whether it's insecurities you have to work on. Coming on Facebook Live, guys, that is a huge out-of-the-box thing for me. Huge. I hate this. I hate being on camera. I will never watch back my lives and see what I look like, because I would take them down, and you guys would hate me for taking them down, because what I share has so much value, and it means so much more to you guys. And I don't care what I look like or anymore. I'm over that, guys, and I'm breaking through my walls and my barriers, and I am here to serve my friends and the people who have trusted me to follow me and listen to me. And you guys are amazing, and keep being there for me the way that I am for you. And that just means showing up. That means contributing to the questions that I ask in my group or on my personal page. That means bringing your friends to be like, hey, here's this really cool chick, and she knows what she's talking about, and we can all learn something. That's what this is about, guys. This is about building me. And I hope in a year from now that I'm talking to 1 million people on my list, and that there are so many people tuning in here. There's 24 people here right now. In a year from now, I want thousands of people to tune in and see where I've come from, and who I am, and where all of you guys have, journeyed. We're a community. That's what this is. And it doesn't matter who you are or where you come from. We're a community of like-minded people who believe in natural health, who believe in the alternatives, who are here to learn and to change their ways and to benefit their kids or their partners, or just for yourself, guys. Do you believe in yourselves? And that is what will get you over that next hump. You have to love yourself, and it's so cheesy, okay? It's so cheesy. But when you love yourself, your decisions that you make are so impactful. They are so different. They are so this is the first time in my life. I'm 33 years old, guys. I'm single, and I'm so fucking happy I am single, okay? I don't need a man to depend on to pay my bills. I don't need a man in my life to give me reinforcement and to tell me what I may or may not want to hear. I need me. I'm doing me, guys. This year out and until forever from now on in, I will always be my priority. Even when I have kids, my kids will be amazing, and I'll be such a good mom, and I know that. And I do want to get married, and I do want to have a family, and those are important goals for me. But right now, guys, I'm building this empire to serve as many people as I can, and you better believe it, that I'm going to change the lives of 1 million people. That is my goal, and I am starting with myself, and I am fixing myself while I work with all of you guys. So I hope this inspired you a little bit. I hope that you understand who I am a little bit more. I'm just real. I've been through my stuff. We've all been through stuff. We all know pain. And this is just the beginning, guys. This is just like the tip of the iceberg. This is going to explode, and this is going to be the best journey ever. And it's not always going to be roses and butterflies, but it's good, guys, and it's going to get better. And I cannot wait to share with you some of the stuff that I've been working on. And I am working with a phenomenal human being named Brett Hawes, who you guys are going to learn and meet him really, really soon. And he's this awesome kick-ass practitioner out of Toronto, and he's a functional medical practitioner and a nutritionist, and he is joining my tribe and my force, and him himself has accomplished so much, and you will see the both of us jump on here soon and do a video with you guys. And what we have in store for you guys is going to blow your mind, and I'm so excited to share it with you, and you'll stay tuned. And I will continue doing Facebook Lives, even though I don't love them, but I'm so much more comfortable with them. And thank you guys for allowing me to feel this good and this appreciated, and that what I have to share is valued to you. So thank you. And I look forward to hosting you on my next live sometime next week. Not sure what the topic is, maybe gut health, maybe detox. And we will talk. So thanks for coming in to learn about me, guys. Please add your friends to my group. Help me build this community. Help me blow this out of the water, guys, and keep being you guys, and do not give up. And no matter where you are in your journey in healing and health, do not give up. And if today is the day that you start, or tomorrow's your Monday where you're going to start, just start, guys. The best way to start is to start, okay? And just kick ass, guys. And if you need support, use this group. Put up your shit. Ask for help, okay? There's a lot of really smart people in this group. It's not me by myself. Yes, I'm the leader of this pack, and you guys are all on the same level, okay? Everybody has so much to share and so much to give. So be engaged in this group. Share your knowledge. Ask questions. I'm here to serve you guys, and thank you so much. And thanks for letting me be comfortable on camera. And I wish you guys a really great Sunday night. And I look forward to engaging with you guys all the time. And again, thank you. And thank you for letting me be vulnerable. Good night, guys.